Greetings my dears in love and light. 12 ways to know you're supposed to be a medium. Now when I say a medium, I'm referring to someone who brings through messages from spirit to give to loved ones who are still incarnate, alive on earth today. So you'd go and see a medium and they would bring through messages of love and comfort from loved ones passed over, friends and relatives, to the individual having the reading. And most of the time, great comfort and healing is gained from these sessions because those having the reading really get validated and confirmed for them the continuance of life and that their loved ones are still around them all the time. Oftentimes, psychic mediums, those who bring through messages, get clues in their life that point to the fact that they're supposed to be doing this work. This is their spiritual calling. So I'm going to give you 12 ways now that you would pretty much pick up on the fact that you're supposed to be a psychic medium. Now, not all the points in this list are going to be applicable, but many of them, if they are applicable to you, maybe you should think twice. So number one, as a child, you'd be very scared at bedtime or in the dark. Now, many children feel this way, but if you are scared due to spirits and you are afraid of ghosts, you may have been picking up subconsciously that there were other entities around. You may have been picking up on spirits, and because children are fearful of the unknown, it would produce fear, even if the spirits around were meaning no harm. So as a child, if you were particularly scared at nighttime, bedtime or in the dark, it may mean that you are particularly sensitive to spirit. Number two is plain old seeing ghosts. Have you ever seen a ghost? Some people never have. I know I've seen quite a number and very clearly with my own eyes. Now, some people just see ghosts. They have this ability switched on from a young age. Now, did you see ghosts as a child? Have you seen ghosts even as an adult? It means that you are just able to tune into their vibrational frequency. You're able to tune into that dimension. There's nothing wrong with you. In fact, there's something especially right with you that you can tune into that layer of existence. So if you see ghosts or have seen ghosts in your life, or see shadow people, sort of figures, and you catch figures in the corners of your eyes, or even if you see other things like orbs or strands of light, anything paranormal like that that you see, that's a hint that you have abilities switched on that could enable you to become a psychic medium. Number three, did you have an imaginary friend as a child? When you're a child, did you always talk about an imaginary friend? Now, you may have believed it was in your imagination, and others would have told you it was in your imagination. But if you think about it for a moment, was there some kind of life force there? Were you picking up on some entity that was trying to communicate with you? Think about it. Number four is the urge to make contact. I know that throughout my life I've had the urge to make contact with spirit, and I didn't understand why other people didn't feel like they were there too. Now, if you have the urge to make contact, it may be your calling. Your spirit guides might be nudging you to start doing this work, or subconsciously you just feel drawn to do it. You feel like messages should be brought through from the other side, in love and light of course, to people still incarnate here. Because what it does do is it helps them realise the true nature of reality, the continuance of life, that death is a lie, and it removes all kinds of fear in your lifetime, especially the fear of death. So if you're drawn to make contact or feel like you must make contact, then this may be a sign that you should be a psychic medium. Number five, and you may not identify with everything on this list, but number five is that you watch psychic mediums on TV and you really identify with them. I know when I was younger and I was having my first sort of stage of awakening as a teenager, I would watch psychic mediums on TV like John Edward and think, wow, this is really real, this is really true, I've known this all along. And I was absolutely fascinated and wanted to watch them bringing through messages and providing validation for those in the audience. Now, if you watch those programs or have watched those programs and think, wow, I can really relate to this, it may be another sign that you should become a medium. Number 6 is you ask for help or ask for a question and the help comes or the question is answered. Do you have that where you ask spirit for assistance? It may be your spirit guide or it may be a loved one passed over. You communicate with them and the answer comes. It may come as a sense of knowing, that's claircognizance. It may come as a sense of clairvoyance, that's seeing in the mind's eye. You may experience clairaudience, that's hearing in the mind, or clairsentience, a feeling or emotion. So you may receive a response after a few seconds, after a few minutes. You ask a question, you ask for help, and there it comes. Are you feeling the information coming? Now, many people don't recognize that's really happening. They confuse it with their own thoughts. But you start to realize that maybe these aren't just your own thoughts and feelings. So number 6 is asking for help or asking a question, and the response comes. Number 7, you get the urge to tell people stuff and you don't know where this information came from. So number 7 is all about receiving, and because you're not a practiced medium yet, you're not sure where this information came from, yet you know it through and through. You get the urge to tell someone to be careful about something, or tell someone to take care of someone, or any kind of information like that. You feel compelled, you need to tell them this, but you're still not sure why, and you can actually feel a bit of a ninny doing it, but you're compelled to do it anyway, and it's your choice whether you do or not, but the compulsion is still there. So number 7 is receiving information, not too sure where it's come from, but you have the urge to pass it on. Number 8 is you are perceiving your clairs. Now, I touched on the clairs a moment ago. So you're starting to become, for example, clairvoyant. You have images that pop into the mind, you're not sure where they came from, but they feel ever so subtly, slightly outside of your own thought process. It's a very subtle feeling. Or you're receiving clairaudience, so maybe as you're going to sleep at night, you start to hear voices in your mind, and the voice is different to your inner monologue, different to the voice in your mind, the regular voice. And sometimes you hear shouting or conversations in your mind, and this is because you're in a relaxed state and it's quiet and you're open to receive. You may receive claircognizance, and that is the sense of knowing a response, knowing information, just knowing the concept, even if it's not verbalized in words yet. Or you're feeling clairsentient, which is a lot like being empathic, where you're picking up feelings and emotions or even physical sensations in the body, and your clairs are being activated. And this may be a sign, because these are the tools that you use to help with your mediumship. These are the ways of receiving communication and receiving information, and you need to practice them if you're going to become a psychic medium. So please see my 4 videos on the clairs, and if you're starting to have these senses awaken in you, it may be a sign that you should be a psychic medium. Number 9 is you may not have realised it, but maybe a little bit, you have been blocking out contact. You shut the door on contact. Maybe once you received some information, maybe once you felt a presence, maybe once you saw a ghost or something like that, and you shut the door on it. You shut your mental door on it, and you've blocked out communication. Now, some part of you feels like you've done this, and that maybe one day you might want to open the door again, but you're not ready. So number 9 is you've shut the door on communication because you weren't ready, and perhaps you need to own up to yourself that you've done this. Number 10 is knowing that you have mediumistic abilities, but you're just waiting for the right time until you're ready. So following on from number 9, number 10 is that you're thinking that maybe sometime in the future you'll open the door to this. You're thinking sometime in the future maybe I'll practice being a psychic medium, but I'm just not ready yet. So that's a sign that maybe this is your purpose in life, but it's best to wait until you intuitively feel ready to do this work, because that will be the right time and not before. Number 11 is that you've always had, or recently developed, a strong fascination with divination. So you're really interested in tarot cards, scrying, crystal ball, rune stones, angel cards, things like that. You find them fascinating because they're a tool to aid you in making spirit contact. So you're fascinated with all these tools, you're drawn to them, because subconsciously you know that they're useful tools. And number 12, subconsciously you feel like spirits are trying to communicate now. Perhaps you're nearing the time when you're ready to start practicing as a psychic medium, and you start to sense that spirit are knocking on the door, or that your spirit guides are saying, okay, we're gathering around to help you with this now. The point has come in your life where you can start to make contact and bring through messages of comfort for others in this life. My next video following on from this one will be how to nurture your mediumistic ability. So watch out for that just in case you're ready. But point number 12 is you're starting to sense that spirits are knocking on the door now because they intuitively know themselves that you're nearing the time to help communicate, be a vessel for, be a channel for their messages to loved ones who are still here on the earthly plane today. So leave a message and let me know how you know that you might be mediumistic and how you feel about it. If you would like a spiritual consultation session online with Nikki Sutton, please head to nikkisutton.com to find out more about it. And don't forget to click subscribe and that bell button to get regular notifications, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.